Yes, everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Howson. This is 5 things that we learned watching United draw with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge yesterday. In at number 1, Casemiro surprise. Last few games, he's been outstanding, like a 8.5, 9 out of 10, and almost effortless as well in doing it. He doesn't look like he's flustered doing it. Defensively brilliant, showing his experience. There's a steel calmness, just a confidence about the way he goes about everything. Been a foundation that United have been missing for absolutely years and years. I think he's pretty underrated on the ball. He can break the lines, but he keeps it simple. He doesn't force it all the time. He's not trying to, like sometimes Pogba might try and make you realise how good he was, but actually when he simplified his game, he was a lot better. Well, Casemiro does that simple stuff, like straight out the bat. He's shown himself not just to be a defensive stopper, but he's a danger arriving in the box. He went close against Spurs the other night, and last night he went one better and actually put it in the back of the net. Well, actually, it didn't go in the back of the net, did it? It went marginally over the line, but it counted, so who gives a shit? We probably signed him a few years too late, but I'm glad he's here. Number 2, we don't have a cutting edge, and whether or not it's down to the Ronaldo factor or just it is what it is. There wasn't one on the bench either. Certainly not one that Ten Hag was willing to bring on. And it's been a recurring theme a couple of times this season. And I think unless it's addressed in January, I mean, you might get through to the World Cup without needing it, or without it being such a massive drama. I mean, you arguably need it already, but I think without it affecting us too badly. But it's going to need to be addressed in January. No two ways around it. There were big chances from both Rashford and Antony that were missed. Martial missing is a miss. Lack of ruthlessness has totally cost us. United were good enough to be ahead in the first half an hour, and we weren't. And this is a Chelsea team, especially under Graham Potter, that doesn't give you a lot of chances. And we actually had enough chances to get our noses in front. And that's going to be a problem for us. United need a goal scorer that can be relied upon. And whether that's, I don't think it's going to be Ronaldo now. I think he's manufacturing an exit, and I don't think it's going to be Anthony Martial, because I don't think he can prove himself to stay fit for long enough to be that guy. And it's a shame because talent-wise, he's got it. But a little bit like Eric Bailly, can't stay fit, you ain't it. Simple as that. Number 3, game of 2 halves. We absolutely bossed the first half. We made the home team totally change their tactics and the way they were playing. We were sharp, we were industrious, we were expansive, we were focused, we dominated midfield. And Graham Potter, to his credit, identified where United was dominating and slicing Chelsea open, fixed it, arguably made a negative substitution when he did it, but he fixed the problem, because if it had carried on much longer than that, they wouldn't have got to the hour mark without conceding a goal. I'm almost certain of that. So Graham Potter played his hand early. To his credit, you would have to say it stopped them losing the game. We ran out of ideas, and we made midfield substitutions for attacking players, and I think some people are going to call that a negative substitution, and very, very basic analysis to suggest that there wasn't the firepower on the bench to bring on. Garnacho aside, and as much as I would love to see him bring Garnacho on, the reality is you're asking a lot for him to trust a teenager in those circumstances. And I believe these teenagers in these circumstances invariably actually come up trumps for you. But away at Chelsea, the circumstances surrounding the game, it's a big, big call that actually most managers would go with the McTominays and Freds over, as disappointing as that might be. We need to have more impactful substitutions. We need to maybe have more options. I think the better tactical substitutions in this game were made by Graham Potter. I don't think that's unfair to say. Chelsea bossed the second half. But United were resolute, and it wasn't until Varane went off that they really had any sort of chances to write home about. Varane and Martinez, and I'm going to get to Martinez at the end, they just shut Chelsea down. And even though they had, they stopped the flow of chances coming towards their own goal, they didn't create a glut of chances going the other way. And United still looked good, and we were still good for being right in the game, and actually probably coming away with a clean sheet if it wasn't for the penalty at the end. Number 4, Sancho Sorrow. I don't know what's going on with Jadon Sancho at the moment, but he looks like there's no positivity, urgency, confidence, swagger, or even enthusiasm in his game at the moment. I don't know if there's something going on in his personal life, but he looks miles off it. When all the forwards are fit, his place is the one that is in serious jeopardy at the moment. We got to see more from him, not just to justify his price tag, but just justify him starting. He's sloppy with some of his passing. He's timid in possession. The reason you get paid the big bucks and the reason why Manchester United parted with £75 million to sign you is because you do stuff that centre-halves, left-backs, defensive midfielders can't do. Being a winger, being one of the most exciting players in a team, you're expected to take your full-back on. You're expected to play with a bit of risk. I want my centre-halves to be safe. I want my centre-halves to aim for 100% pass completion every game. I wouldn't mind if my defensive midfielder had 100% pass completion each game. I'm not asking him to create chances. I couldn't give a shit if my winger had a 12% pass completion but come off of a goal assist. I want to see him take people on. I want to see him try risky shit. I want to see him play with no fear. Cristiano Ronaldo, when he was sort of emerging from the one-trick pony with no end product into that sort of like really fucking dangerous, potent athlete that he became. The 2006-2007 season was where Ronaldo kind of went, going on here. That fucker was having 10, 11 shots a game. You think he give a shit about lost possession probably a bit too many? Fuck no, give me the ball, let me do it again. I want to go past this guy time and time again, and that is what Jadon is not doing at the moment. He's been far too inconsistent since he arrived. We give him the benefit of the doubt that the team was gashed last season, but now the team around him is performing. He looks like the odd one out. That needs fixing because he will soon find him. I think Ten Hag has proved, if you ain't performing, you ain't playing. And he's creeping himself, if not careening himself, in towards the you ain't playing kind of category. And finally, Martinez monster. Again, phenomenal. Unruffleable. Unrattleable. A shout for early player of the season. United's at least. Probably not the leagues, but, you know, United's at least. Gotta be. He's absolutely sensational. Shut Aubameyang out of the game. Didn't put a foot wrong. Not a single mistake. His ability on the ball has transformed our ability on the ball and our ability playing out. He's a ridiculously good footballer. He's a tenacious, brave, thoughtful defender. He is aggressive. He has got character. And he seems to have infected the rest of the team with a winning mentality. Held the fort very well when Varane went off. The partnership those two have struck up is sensational, and I hope it's not damaged. I hope that Varane isn't out for too long, because those two are the foundation that this United season is being built on. And I think we're still going to be in with a fight of a top four shot because of how good we are defensively, and that is in large part to, well, entirely down to Martinez and Varane. I think we might miss out on it because of not being able to score goals, but I think we're going to see so many clean sheets from United, and we are worth it. Well, that's it from me. Cheers for checking it out. I'll throw a link to the Paddock game if you want to go and watch that. We had a sensational game of football yesterday. I won't give away the scoreline because I know people are into it, but we played second in the league. The link is in the description. Check it out. See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.